how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about current opportunities within the market and what's available. There are so many opportunities. Different companies are looking to solve particular problems within their particular industries. Then they're looking to solve those problems. So sometimes they might be interested in hiring outside companies, or either not necessarily just private companies, can be governments who are looking to solve problems and they putting price on the problem and they're looking to solve that, right? So there's a lot of opportunities out there for people who are interested. I'm looking to cover perhaps 10 of those. So whoever is interested, or perhaps if you're currently struggling and you're looking for to find some of the opportunities, you got skills and you can solve some of those problems. I'm looking to share some details in very niche, unique problems and some of the opportunities available right now. I'm not entirely sure how long they're gonna be available. So some people would express their interest in some of those projects, so they would potentially get to solve those problems. So it perhaps be 5 teams who, and to be determined who might be the best out of those teams in solving problems. But I'm going to be covering 10 of those, and without perhaps sharing too much detail, I will be covering exact problem and some of the obstacles and some of the solutions within every video. First opportunity, there are so many of that that I could find available. I'm currently looking at the UK, but that not necessarily limited just the opportunities within UK. But let's start with those since myself I'm interested in those. But either way, so first one would be Micromobility Solutions, and let's cover in more detail what those are. Micromobility refers to the use of small, lightweight vehicles for short distance travel within urban areas. These solutions have gained popularity as cities look for more sustainable and effective ways to address transportation and environmental challenges. I can cover a little bit more detail because I have done a lot of research to understand this opportunity. For many years, I've been looking at this opportunity. In particular, we're looking to perhaps cost of the mile to be traveled, as well as how people are traveling, and a lot of people collecting a lot of information about large populations and how people tend to travel, as well as much as perhaps looking for a better way of improving of current situations, and perhaps reducing cost of traveling, if anything, with social transport, with all those things, right? So if you were outside the city, if you would, if I have to put it into perspective, right? But it's not necessarily limited to that. But for example, right, if you're living outside the city and you need to come to the city for whatever reason, right? So there are people up there who are looking to solve this problem, right? So perhaps you would take a bus, and the bus might take you from outside the city. Bus would take you within the city, right? So that's where a lot of people are looking, right? So perhaps how they can cost as well as perhaps save you money as well as solving that problem. So once you're in a bus station or similar place, whatever you might be, city center, right? So you are now in the city, right? Then you need to go to from point A to point B. How you're gonna go there, as well as perhaps how they go. A lot of people might solve this problem for you, right? They have tried so many different things depending on the region where you're located. You might have seen a lot of people trying a lot of ways of solving this particular problem. There was scooters, there was bikes, there was I don't know skateboards. I don't know. A lot of people might be interested in different ways of traveling, and perhaps how we can cost this, as well as perhaps it could be beneficial for people who are actually going to use this transportation method, as well as for people providing these services. So we have tried a lot of things already. It's called last mile solutions, right? So last mile. So if you were to travel from outside the city, that way perhaps 20 miles. So last mile from city center to where you actually need to go, that way it's something like a last mile solutions. Most of the time, that might be very costly for currently within a lot of customers. If you need to take a taxi, if you need to catch any of the technology companies up there that you might be able to call with your phone, or that might be very costly. So they perhaps would come up with different solutions how they can solve that problem. And to some extent, so that perhaps would be the largest market, but not necessarily limited to that. Perhaps airports, how we can take people from point A to point B, but that's a smaller market and it's very niche. So we are looking for a largest market, one that perhaps I just mentioned, and how we can potentially offer solution to this problem. Let's cover some of those projects out there. If anything, some of the options available. So if you were to find yourself in the, I don't know, in the center bus station, whatever case might be, and you would need to still travel from point A to point B, and some of the solutions perhaps would, depending on your region, right, you might find access to. The first one would be electric scooters. Electric scooters often available for rent throughout smartphone apps have become more common sight in many cities. They are ideal for short trips and have environmentally friendly due to their electric motors. So the electric scooters, perhaps, I don't know, they do not offer helmets or anything. I don't know. There's a lot of options up there available, right? I don't know. So that's I have seen so many strange things up there. So I was two people on one scooter. There's a lot of things up there, right? Next one would be bicycles and e-bikes. Traditional bicycles and electric bikes, e-bikes, are a sustainable mode of transportation. Many cities have implemented bike sharing programs, making it easy for people to rent bikes for short journeys. It's an ongoing process. So within many cities within Europe, something that people have tried different programs as well, but it depends on the industry, depends on the market. Some of those programs might be subsidized by the government. Some of the businesses might start to launch those. It can be considered as a trend, right? So a lot of people trying those. Perhaps I wish more people, more projects would succeed in actually solving this problem, but they constantly the process is ongoing. I have reached out to actually manufacturing companies out there who are offering to sell those. So if anyone is interested, perhaps there are some companies who might be offered for you to rent those if you think that's valuable business model. So there are some companies up there as well as if you're interested in buying, selling those. Perhaps if it's something that you interest myself, I'm not interested in any of that. Myself, I'm not interested. Perhaps different things, not but not these particular areas. Electric skateboards. Electric skateboards offer a fun and efficient way to travel short distances. They are compact and easy to carry, making them convenient option for urban communities. There's options there. I don't know. There are some content producers up there who are actually perhaps promoting that. I don't know. That seems like high risk area, but either way, I'm not that good basically with balancing myself, I guess, on some of those things. But either way, so that's the option there. Electric unicycles and hoverboards. These single wheel or self balancing devices are gaining popularity, especially among tech savvy urban communities. So that's an option there. I don't know. The city, most of the cities are upgrading, in particular city centers, so it would be easier to use those. But it's ongoing process, right? Electric and self-balancing scooters, car sharing and ride sharing. That's perhaps more interesting, and I see that being valuable business myself. That's how I do. I don't know. I don't know. If I had to put my money, I would put my money on that one. There is a risk involved, right? Car sharing and ride sharing, while not typically classified as micro mobility solution, yeah, but still, car sharing and ride sharing services can also be considered within the context of urban transportation alternatives. Companies, without mentioning any names, provide on-demand rides with focus on reducing need for personal vehicle ownership. So they could perhaps add value to large groups of people by, I don't know, the insurance, ongoing maintenance of the cars, as well as upfront cost that owning a vehicle, as well as all the taxes, whatever might be attached with the vehicle, perhaps for a lot of people, especially in the crowded cities, might be more suitable of car sharing instead of perhaps owning a vehicle. Personal rapid transit (PRT) systems use small automated vehicles to provide on-demand transportation with limited areas. These systems are highly efficient and can be considered from micromobility in some cases. Segways, while less common than some other forms of micromobility, segways offer a unique and efficient way to travel short distances. They are often used by tourists and for guided city tours. Electric assist trikes, tricles with electric assist are a practical micromobility option for individuals with mobility issues or those needing to transport cargo or goods. Cargo bikes. Cargo bikes are designed for carrying goods and are an eco-friendly alternative to delivery vans for last mile logistics. So overall, just in brief, so that's perhaps more commonly used ways of moving yourself, or perhaps cargo from point A to whatever packages, mail, whatever case might be, from point A to point B. People up there who are interested in finding out more, currently within the city, we're covering some of the top 100 companies up there in the world who have solved some of those problems, and they are in top 100. So if you were to solve this particular problem of mobility, and you would be able to offer alternatives to perhaps some of the existing projects, you never know, your company might be up there as well. I have published a course. Within this course, I'm sharing a lot of information with people who are interested in perhaps developing themselves, different areas where to begin. Within this course, I'm sharing alternatives to perhaps what's been taught in school. Or if anything, I'm sharing things that haven't been taught, and I think it's even more important. Some of the areas covered within the school. You can find it in the description below, as well as in different formats. I have published PDF file, text, video. If you need further guidance, feel free to reach out to me, and as well as if you have any questions. Micromobility solutions have numerous benefits, including reducing traffic congestions, lowering cargo emissions, and promoting healthier lifestyle. But then it would need to be powered by you, right? By muscles. But either way, a lot of people are avoiding that. However, they also present challenges related to safety, infrastructure, and regulations. Many cities are working to integrate micromobility into their transportation systems throughout the implementation of bike lanes, designated parking areas, and regulations to ensure the safe and ordinary use of these vehicles. Quick note for any people who might be considering beginning of riding a bike to work. If it's something that you are interested, a lot of cities are offering different schemes right now where they can help you to purchase a bike. So you not necessarily need to travel with your car. So it's something that I noticed a lot of councils offer support, financial support, in order to reduce carbon footprint. That might be important, and every little matters, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.